President Trump just finished his first real summit meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. It could have been remembered for a lot of things, but I think what it's going to be remembered for most of all is President Trump's decision not to confront Vladimir Putin publicly on any of the tough issues between them, on charges of Russian meddling in the 2016 election, on the Russian annexation of Crimea, on Russian meddling in Ukraine. On the question of election interference in 2016, the president said he didn't understand why Russia would have interfered, and he indicated simply that President Putin strongly denied that that had occurred, despite the indictment of 12 Russian military intelligence officers by the Justice Department just last week on doing exactly that, on hacking into Democratic campaign computers. And on Ukraine, there was very little from President Trump about getting Russia to stop its meddling in eastern Ukraine. Again, instead, it was President Putin who said the U.S. should pressure Ukraine to become more cooperative with Russia. So one of the questions that intrigues people is why? Why is President Trump so unwilling to confront President Putin publicly? Well, it's hard to know why exactly, but there are several possible explanations. On election meddling, it's pretty clear that the president thinks any talk of Russian meddling in 2016 somehow delegitimizes his win in that 2016 presidential campaign.
We won that race. And it's a shame that there can even be a little bit of a cloud over it.
More broadly, he clearly does want to have Russian help on North Korea and denuclearizing North Korea, on cleaning up the mess in Syria, and in reducing Iran's influence in Syria. And so maybe he thinks he has to be sort of cordial with President Putin to get that kind of help. Maybe he simply likes President Putin personally, but in any case, he has shown in the way he has approached allied leaders, Emmanuel Macron in France, Theresa May in Great Britain, Angela Merkel in Germany, that he's not afraid to take on other leaders publicly. He simply doesn't seem to be comfortable doing it with Russia and Vladimir Putin, at least not in this case.